Shalom, Yasha'Allah, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yasha'Allah. Call Haloyam La, Yahweh Wa, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakakodash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the work. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Salat, 1 second. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Alright? The Lord is letting us know that all of the prophecies that's spoken of in the scripture will surely come to pass. Alright? Even though time on this earth seems like forever for us, but to the Lord it's just, seconds. Right? A day to the Lord is 1,000 years, so, there's no time. All right? But while we suffer and, waiting on the kingdom to come, just know that the prophecies that were written aforetime will surely come to pass. So you're not waiting in vain, and the Lord is definitely going to leave you signs, to help encourage you to stay the course. Right? The Lord is going to leave you signs so that you can be aware of the time. Right? So that you won't, what the hell is that? So that you won't be caught lacking. What is that? Yeah, Babylon. Anyway, yeah. So the reason why I'm bringing this video out is because of what I just saw on Kim Iverson's show. Right? She's a reporter. I believe she used to be with The Hill. Matter of fact, I know she used to be with The Hill, but they parted ways for whatever reason. Right? That part I don't know, but I do know she used to be with the news company called The Hill, and really after she left, it's like all the deep stories that was coming out on The Hill kind of left too. So I'm assuming they left with her, right? But nevertheless, the information that was brought out, I made a video about it yesterday as it pertains to the different families that really control this world, and how the daughter of Babylon is merging the military with the tiny tops, right? Which, it makes sense based off of the connection that the tiny tops and the daughter of Babylon has had since the tiny tops' inception. Matter of fact, the daughter of Babylon had a big hand in solidifying the tiny tops occupying that land, which is really our land, but that they're claiming is theirs, right? But this new information, it reminded me of Revelation chapter 13, because the information that was brought out was that the daughter of Babylon is not only merging with the tiny tops, right, but they're merging with the lion as well. I said Revelation chapter 13, right, which is England, the UK, right? King Charles, who just said that they're introducing digital identification, and everybody in that area has to get it, or they won't be able to work. Right? And I want to say, as far as the military goes, the weaponry that they have is how Kim put it, over the top weaponry. Right? So matter of fact, let me let this video play. I'll be back.
Let's talk about something that is extremely frightening, but I'm also extremely curious about this. Recently, I've covered that the United States government and the intelligence sector of the U.S. government is basically going to merge with Israel. I mean, Congress has put into bills basically language that would force the U.S. military and the intelligence community to merge with Israel. And they say, oh, it's not merging, it's not much. No, it is. I mean, if the government is required to give Israel intel and the president can't even not do it because it's written into law, that's obviously a huge problem. Like, why are we being forced to share intel with Israel? And secondly, if we're forced to purchase a bunch of weapons, basically the weapons of the future, the AI, the directed energy weapons, all of these various things that Israel's been working on that the U.S. apparently hasn't been, because we've been building, I guess, nukes, missiles, and jets. And Israel's been working on all this kind of over-the-top new sort of futuristic military weaponry. And then Congress wants to force the United States military essentially to buy the Israeli stuff, which essentially would mean, then whoever controls the weapons is going to control the world. They can then tell you what you must do and what you're not going to do and all of these things. It's an absolute disaster. We see it with NATO, by the way, with the United States. The United States basically is NATO. The U.S. basically is able to bully all of the NATO countries around and get them to do whatever the U.S. wants, because the U.S. is the one manufacturing the weapons. So it's a really, really awful idea to be merging like this. But you brought up to me before we got on air to have this conversation that not only is the U.S. trying to merge with Israel, but one was done with the UK, with Great Britain. Now, this is interesting to me. Why would the U.S. feel the need to merge with Great Britain? But apparently $42 billion in contracts were done between the United States and Great Britain. Can you, and basically merging AI and military together, can you explain more of that?
Well, September 17th of last year, King Charles had a banquet for Donald Trump. And often at these banquets, you have Hollywood celebrities, the sports figures, various kinds of influencers. No, at this event, Trump brought about 20 CEOs of Silicon Valley firms.
Yeah.
And they made deals.
It's a lot. Goddamn devil. Matter of fact. Alright, so Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1 says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. Alright, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard," which represents, Greece, the beginnings of this beast, the Greco-Roman era, right? Alexander the Greek, right? The first great, I usually say, so-called white man, right? The dream started with him and his ideals that really come from ancient times, going all the way back to Nimrod and the Tower of Babel, right? Having a one world society under one ruler, and whatever his ideals are, the rest of the world follow, right? Really, and that idea really coming from the blessings that the Lord has promised to Yasharallah, right? But they, these devils are doing it on the left hand side, right? But nevertheless, it says, "In his feet were as the feet of a bear," right? The feet represent the end of a thing, right? That bear represents Russia, because Russia is going to bring about the end of the daughter of Babylon, the end of this beast system, right? Through total destruction, right? It says, "And his mouth as the mouth of a lion," which is the UK, right? Which is the UK, man, right? And we see the influence that the UK has over, the daughter of Babylon and this beast system as a whole, right? Let me see. It says, "And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority," right? So what I just saw on that video reminded me of Revelation chapter 13. And like I said, the reason why they're doing all of these things is because it's a lot. It's because they're implementing the beast system, right? They're implementing Revelation 13. Let me see. Is it 15? Revelation 13, 15, all the way down. Right? The beast system, the mark of the beast, they implementing all of these things. It's happening. Right? This is not conspiracy theory. These are facts. Right? It's going down. Right? Now how soon, they really push the issue, who knows? But like I said, like we say all the time, like Scripture says, what I'm saying, the Lord will make these devil's tongues fall upon themselves. They constantly say 2030. They've been saying 2030 for about 10 to 20 years now. Come to find out, yeah, they were talking about Agenda 21 in the 90s, in the early 90s. They were talking about Agenda 21. I didn't know it until I saw it with my own eyes. All right, but this always been the plan. Look at the money. Look on the back of the dollar bill. On the back of the dollar bill, they got all that Latin writing and symbolism, the Masonic symbolism, and so forth and so on. This always been the plan. But we're at the point now to where they're implementing the plan, and eventually it's going to be by force, where they're going to have it to where you won't buy or sell unless you have, right, this thing, right? And it's a beautiful thing to see. Right, the Lord told us it's a blessing to see the downfall of your enemies, and even though our enemies don't know what they're bringing about is their downfall, that's exactly what it is. So with that, call Haloyim La Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Ba Sham Harakak Wadash, Shalom Yasha Allah Wa, Abba Ball.